Welcome to Board Game Archaeologists, where we play time-worn games from the past. I'm Hunter,
I'm Rob.
and today we're looking at The Man from U.N.C.L.E, the board game.
The Napoleon solo, The Man from U.N.C.L.E game, was made in 1965. It's based on the TV show The Man from U.N.C.L.E from 1964 to 1968. Robert Vaughn played Napoleon solo in the show, and that's who we have on the front cover. The game itself is made from Ideal. It's made for 2 to 4 players, and it really doesn't have an age limit on the game or the instructions that we could find.
The objective of the game is to find your assigned Chief Thrush card and return it to U.N.C.L.E HQ.
The pieces to the game include the board, paradise, you have your 4 little guys, you have these green tokens, and the green tokens will be placed on all 4 cornered parts on the board game. You also have your U.N.C.L.E assignment cards, and these all actually show your Thrush chief agents. Thrush, and it's the hardest word for us to say in this whole thing. The Thrush chief agents are players that you randomly put into rooms.
To start out, each player will take an agent token and then roll to see who goes first. Highest roll goes first, and then it goes clockwise from there. Once you shuffle the U.N.C.L.E assignment cards, each player will get 1. And the U.N.C.L.E assignment card is what you're going to use for reference when you're looking for your Chief Thrush card on the map. Now, to get around on the map, you can start from any one of the 4 major pathways. And to move, you roll both die. However, unless you get doubles, you can only pick 1 of the 2 die to use in your movement. If you get a doubles, however, for example, 2 3s, you have to move 6. And you can't go, so many forward and so many back in one turn.
Right. So when you go, if you get like a 4 and a 1, you can either move 1, either way, back or forth, or 4, back or forth.
Yeah. Landing on the intersections are the only ways that you can switch your path. If you land on one of the intersection spaces, you can then choose to move in a different route the next turn. What you want to end up doing is landing directly on the green or 4-way intersection spaces. When you do that, you must fight one of the Thrush agent operatives. And to do that, you'll take 1 die, you'll roll it, and if you get a 1 through 4, then you capture the agent, and it counts as a piece towards one of the Chief Thrush cards that you want to purchase. If you get a 5 or 6, you get sent to the Thrush headquarters.
And Thrush headquarters is a lot like Monopoly Jail. You lose 3 turns unless you roll doubles, or you can buy your way out with a agent chip, or if you purchased one of your chief cards, you can also use one of those that once you pay it out, you would distribute back into the table.
To obtain one of the chief cards, you need to take your player and land directly on one of the black speckled spots. From here, even if you don't have 3 agent tokens, you can still choose to look at the chief. And then if you choose to use the 3 agent tokens, you redistribute them back on the board and take the card. And if it matches up with your assignment card, then all you need to do is get back to U.N.C.L.E headquarters through the side entrance.
And you wouldn't tell the other player that you picked it up. You could have a number of them, and you could have a fake one, because the second the other players get wind of you going, we're going to be chasing you down and trying to attack you and get that card away from you.
Yeah, because when a player lands on another player by exact count, you can just freely take rather an agent token from them, or if they have more than 1 chief card, for example, they'd go like this and allow you to take 1 of them.
Right. But if you only have 1, the odds are it'll be the right one.
And there's only 1 that's a victory to each player. And so not letting them in on whether you have yours is a pretty good idea for longevity.
It is. And winning the game is getting your chief this way back to headquarters.
So what were you a fan of with this game?
I like all the artwork, all the little artwork around it. This feels like a cool spy game from the 60s. It's got a good layout. I really like the chase part at the end. The first couple times we played, people would give away right away what it was. So we'd be attacking them right away, or one of us would attack them while the other one secretly kind of won the game. I really like the chase aspect. I really like the design of the game. I like the little guys. I think they're great. I want to paint them. I think they're cool. I like the um, just the whole kind of staying on track, and that was kind of one of the harder things that we had to do. Was the first time we played it, we'd keep trying to turn corners we couldn't legally do, but we picked it up and figured it all out. What'd you like?
See, I like a lot of the same things, especially the fact that like the chase aspect of the game really seems to be on a different side of the board. Most of the time, you're gonna all be in this one section, and one of the things I really like about the game is that you can kind of engage in some mind games too.
Right.
Whether you have it or not, whether you have one of theirs, purposefully trying to bait them. But the second that you come out of that quadrant, the only practical part of the map, people know what you're up to.
Right. And it's funny because you can kind of hide around here and just keep missing everything for the longest period of time. So when you go to the Thrush headquarters and you're stalled there for 3 turns, you think, oh, the game's going to be over. And you really aren't. It took 40 minutes to play the game, I think, the first time we played. And so it's not a quick, 5-10 minute game. I don't even think it could be if you were lucky because there's still a lot of movement to do. And you're right. Once you see that person get past this quadrant, you know something's up. And all of your rolls are to get to that person and hopefully knock them out and take that card and redistribute it back on the board so you can go get your character.
I really like the double dice movement system that they have, just because with the Bionic Woman, for example, getting on an exact space was kind of a novel thing. You only do it 5 times in the whole game.
Right.
But this is a game where you consistently need to get exact counts. And so the whole double dice system, if you're looking for someone that's 4 spaces away, you have a little better chance of actually achieving that. And so I'm really appreciative of that element.
Is there anything you didn't like about it?
I think that the variability in length, for example, where you could just be misrolling constantly, or you get put in Thresh headquarters too many times or something like that,
Right.
and you just can't get out. You can't really make much leeway. It's easy to steamroll people in the game, I think.
Yeah, and that's kind of why you're going to live right here for the first bunch of the game, is because all of the important pieces are right here. You need to find your character, and once you find your character, then you got to secretly kind of move around until you get either the right amount of the agent chips to purchase it, and then you got to get back, land on the same spot again that took you forever to land on, and then get it, and then fight your way back.
And after you get familiar with the chief cards, I think it would become easier to look at one and go, oh yeah, I remember this. The first time around, I thought I must have looked at the same guy like 5 times in a row.
I had to. They're all like different colored hats. It's all about hats in this game, really. And it was funny because it was like gray hat, white hat, no, brown hat. And then luckily we have the Fez guy, so he's a little bit easier to deal with.
Oh, there is an alternative Fez guy with like a blue hat or
Is
something.
there?
A blue, oh, the gray.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a Russian guy. You
Yeah.
bet. But there's not a lot of cons with me on this game. It was a fun game to play, and I could see playing it over and over again. I know right when we were finished with it, we were all kind of excited to play it again. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I did too. And if you have a chance to find it out there somewhere, I'd recommend giving it a spin.
Yeah, check us out at toyarchaeology.com. You can check out our toy show, a model show I've been doing for years, and an RPG show I do with Professor Weigel called Game Geeks RPG. And you can find us on Facebook as a group and a page. The group is more active and fun. We're sharing pictures of old toys and a lot of fun stuff.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you
Thanks.
next time.
Bye.